Hello and welcome to the second part of Swan Science. I'm your favourite scientist, Scientist Swan. Now in the first part we did insoluble and soluble solutions. Now what we're going to do is the second part, which is crystallization, filtration and evaporation. So for this we've got our solution. Now this is a solution I've made up of both insoluble and soluble parts. The insoluble parts is pepper, which is the black pepper you can see floating around, and then the soluble parts of here is I put a salt mixture, and the salt has obviously dissolved. So the salt's dissolved and the pepper's not dissolved. So we've got a solution here in insoluble and soluble solution. So what I'm going to do with this first is we need to separate that out. Now the first way we can do this is via filtration. So we take our filter paper, we fold it in half, and then fold it in half again to get like a cone shape. And then we separate that out just like that, and we get a little funnel and put it on top of our beaker just like that. Now what I'm going to do is just pour some of the liquid, because we don't want to go over the filter paper, into here. Now I don't want to go over the top of the funnel, otherwise it'll spill over. So that's there, and as you can see, that is now dripping down into the bottom. So I'm just going to keep topping that up as we go. So here we go. So now if you just focus on that, I'm just going to let that all run through. So I will speed this up in the edit. So now that has demonstrated filtration. It did take some time because filtration always does. But so now we're left with our solids in the top and our liquid in the bottom. And so the liquid, because it's filtration, is called your filtrate. So what I'm going to do is just take that out and put that over there and leave that there. And what I'm going to do is just put this out like that, and that's going to show you the hard solids there. And put that out to dry there. Now the next part I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour some of the liquid in there for the time being. And I'm going to leave that there, and then before we do anything else, I'm going to light my burner. But wait a minute, before I light my burner, goggles on, you see. So I've got goggles on, light my burner, like so. There you are, we have power. And I'm just going to pour some onto the spoon, and put the spoon over the flame. Now this is going to let the water boil off, or as we call it, evaporate. So this liquid is going to get very hot and we're going to start seeing it boil. So it shouldn't take too long. And there you are. As you can see, now all the water has been evaporated off. And that's some evaporation. And what we're left on the spoon, as you can see, it's still very hot, is our salt. As I said, I made a salt and pepper mix. So there we have the pepper, and there we have the salt. We have no water left. I'm just going to put that, that's very hot, so I'm just going to put that on that cloth, just so it doesn't burn the desks. I'm just going to blow up my candle. Right, I'm going to leave that in the minute because I might use that again. And so there's that. And the last one is obviously crystallization. Now what happens is I'm just going to leave that for a few days or a week, and that water will evaporate off and there'll be the salt crystals in there. The difference between obviously using the heat and not using the heat is the heat can sometimes can sometimes damage the solution you get left, or sorry, the substance you get left at the end. So the heat can sometimes destroy that. Otherwise you can just let it crystallize and let the water evaporate off. And there's my pepper there, and that is my experiment. There you are. Pepper helps put the candle out. And that is Swan Science, and there's an experiment for Scientist Swan. If you like this video, thumbs up. If you want to see more chemistry experiments, let me know. And please remember to like, share and subscribe to this video. Thanks for watching. Scientist Swan signing off.